Hello everyone, this is Dotman, and this is turn 4 of the Mentor vs. Midshipmen series I'm doing for the Vulcan sector. And let's dive into it. Firstly, we had a question this turn about unload all freighters to become more tax rate. And what he was talking about was, if you have the Starbase mission unload all freighters, is the planet going to tax them that turn? And the answer is yes, if you set the tax rate high enough, because unload all freighters happens earlier in the host order than taxes are collected. And we'll be looking at the host order a lot more closely in an upcoming post, but it's very important to understand what order things happen in this game in order to make sure you get the results you want. So firstly, let's take a look at the scoreboard. I'm up to 3 planets now, and I have 1 warship and 2 freighters. Build a ship every turn except that first turn where I accidentally didn't. Everybody else seems to be doing pretty good as well. This Federation player has built all freighters. Let's see here. These guys did not build a ship this turn. You want to build a ship every turn. And of course the Cyborg player didn't either, but he has dropped. We'll try to get another guy in there. But overall, everybody's looking pretty good, growing well. So let's have a look at my starships here and see what we got. My medium freighter moved up to this planet. What do we have? Siliconoid? Yeah, okay, not a great race for me, but tribal, that's a bad government. 1 million, that's a low population. Temperature's alright, it's not excellent, but not bad. So this is not such a great planet, except that we do have a ton of uranium here. That's kind of nice. The density's not too bad. So I'm probably going to try to get some mines up on this planet, but not going to be a lot of tax income from this one when I fully develop it. So I'm going to drop, a couple clans here, maybe a couple supplies, and move on to the next planet. Next up, I have my Cobalt cruiser that went out, and let's see what planet it found. Ugh, this is a bad planet. This is just awful. Amorphous, they eat my colonists. There's a ton of them, so they're going to eat a lot of colonists. The temperature's really low, so my colonists can't grow or even barely survive on this planet. Minerals are very low. Look at this, 26 molybdenum. This is a good example of a great density, but there's nothing to mine. So this is not a good planet whatsoever. It's quite terrible. You do want to colonize these amorphous worlds, but I don't have the clans to do it right now, and I am just going to move on to the next. The other interesting thing about this is, if you recall, I set this thing to bioscan, and you can see some of these planets came up. You can see this one, it's got 8 million avians, so I'm going to want to get some clans down there. Now you can't see the government type yet, so I don't know quite how good it's going to be, but that could be a real moneymaker for me. This planet doesn't have any natives. This planet has 5 million siliconoids, so that could be good. And another siliconoid planet. So, you're really looking for the Bovi planets, or maybe some Gypsoldals, which I haven't found yet, or even humanoid planets for the bonuses. But haven't found any of those yet, so I'll send this guy down here. And last but not least, the large deep space freighter I just built, and I'm going to want to load him up with clans and supplies. If you recall, I want to really get these 2 planets going. So how many do I need? Let's take a look here. I'm going to go take a look at this planet, for instance, and it's got 5.5 million feudal amphibians. So how much tax can I collect from them? Well, I had set a rate earlier when I was looking at this. Say I want to tax these guys down to 70 and let them recover, kind of like what I'm doing with my homeworld. Well, that would be a tax rate of this, 30 minus 30 to happiness, and I could collect up to 2315 mega credits. But that would require 2315 colonists, which is, my LDSF only has a 1200 colonist cargo hold. So I'm not going to be able to do that. So I'm going to try to tax, say, half of that. Not this turn, I'm just seeing what I can get. And that would still be 1,300 colonists, so I can't do that. So I'm not going to be able to growth tax, is what this tax is called, this planet right away. I'm just going to want to get as many colonists down there as I can to collect as many mega credits as I can. But I'm also going to want to put some clans on this world, this bovinoid world, because they generate a supply for every 10,000 bovinoids. As long as you have a guy to collect it. You can see now I have 3,100 because they grew. Last turn I had 3,000 clans, and I collected 30 supplies even without any factories. So I'm going to want at least 337 colonists on this planet to continue to grow it. So I'm going to want around 340 colonists here, and I'll put the rest of the colonists here. So let's load up this ship. We're going to need some fuel, and if I do this, this will leave me a little under 800 clans to put here, which is good, but I also want to build some factories and some mines on that world. So I'm going to want to bring, let's say, at least 100 supplies, and let's say 400 mega credits. So I'll just build 100 factories on that planet, and then the next turn I'll build some mines. So that's pretty good. I'm contemplating just taxing that world and using the mega credits from them and waiting a turn, but I think I want to get this one off the ground right away. So I think I'm going to transport the mega credits instead. I think I'll be okay on my homeworld. So that looks good. I hit OK and set a warp speed, set the mission to sensor sweep, and I'm off. So my starships are doing their thing. It's time to look at my planets. This is my homeworld, of course. I'm not going to tax because I'm still recovering. And I have plenty of mega credits. Looks like I can build another factory. I'm going to do that. Mines are good. Defense posts are good. Next planet is this one I just colonized. And you can see I've got a couple supplies here. So I can build some factories with that. The question is, do I want to? You know, these structures affect how much tax you can collect later. In this case, I do, because these guys are just feudal, population's a little low, and I'm going to be getting supplies from them anyway. So I'm going to build some factories here. Now, this turn I could build 7 factories, or I could apply a tax rate and collect 31 mega credits and build it cheaper next turn, like I was saying. So that's what I'm going to do. You see, when I did that fake build that I reversed, it transferred some of my supplies to mega credits. I can send those back by doing that. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to apply a tax, wait till next turn to build. And finally, this planet right here, you can see I did just that on the last turn, and so I am going to go ahead and build some factories here. As many as I can before I run out of mega credits. 7. And I'm going to keep those supplies for a little more tax coming in next turn and do the same thing. So apply a 1% tax rate again, and we'll do the same thing next turn. That about covers my planets. The only thing left to do is to build a starship. And what do I want to build this turn? Well, I either want to build another Cobalt to go out scouting, or possibly an LDSF to move some stuff around pretty quickly. What am I going to do here? I think I'm going to gamble that this avian world is a pretty decent world, because I'm going to need money soon. And I'm going to build an LDSF and send it right on out there. It's not that much of a gamble, because I know they're there. And odds are it'll be a decent enough government to collect some taxes. So I'm going to build another freighter. There we go. Click build. And that's it. I'm set. So that's it for turn 4, and I'll see you on turn 5.